Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we are going to look at the Thrunite thrower headlamp. Thrunite products are products I have come to greatly enjoy, appreciate, and rely on. Thrunite products are fantastic. I cover them quite a bit on my channel, but today we are going to take a look at this thrower. This is a nice quality, just reasonably sized 18650 lithium ion powered headlamp. Great performance. I have had the opportunity to bring this on a backpacking trip fairly recently. I got this outside for some good quality use, good quality beam shots, and really did rely on this for my camping application. Now again, Thrunite products I do cover quite a bit. This one falls in line with most other Thrunite products. Excellent build quality, excellent features, great programming, and just wonderful overall beam. So with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you, and if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Thrunite who did provide this for review.
And so here, taking a look at the Thrunite thrower. This is an 18650 lithium ion battery powered flashlight, rechargeable, very nice. Now the thrower is a typical form factor. There's actually a number of flashlights out in this similar form factor, including the headband, very nicely machined as always by the people at Thrunite. Here you can see unthreading the cap, again, the 18650 lithium ion battery. This is a 3400 milliamp hour battery, 3.6 volt, pretty typical. These batteries do run very well. Nice threads on the cap and no problem, ready for action. The headband here, fairly straightforward, pretty typical. You can see here just a little bit of a fuzz on the back. I accidentally got some Velcro stuck to it, but not a big deal. You can see this is a USB Type-C rechargeable flashlight. I like that. In here you can see, getting into the modes, a long press. This is the Firefly mode. So Firefly, 0.4 lumens. This will run for 39 days. Single press and then a long press, and you can cycle between the modes. So low, medium, high. Low, the low mode here, this is 62 lumens. This will run for approximately 48 hours. Another press, the medium mode, 258 lumens. That will run for 10 hours. On the high mode, 735 lumens. That will run for 6.5 minutes. And then it will dim down to 395 lumens for 240 more minutes. And then a double press, the turbo mode, 755 lumens, which will run for 5.5 minutes and dim down to 373 lumens for 240 minutes.
So even though the camera really picking up the light in the background, it's starting to get dark and it's time to start thinking about a headlamp. So here you can see the Thrunite thrower. Now in a little bit we're going to take a look at the beam patterns, but for now you can see here on the Firefly mode, Firefly being 0.4 lumens. A long press here. Well, here you can see you can cycle between the modes, so low, medium, high. Low here is 62 lumens, long press. Medium at 258 lumens, long press. And you'll notice if you wait a while, it does go back down. So if I was to sit on medium and just sit here for a couple seconds and wait, well at this point, if I long press, it goes back down. So if you're going to get between the modes, you have to cycle quickly. So here, high. High is 735 lumens, double press, and that is your turbo. Turbo being 1755 lumens, but the key with this being, don't forget its name, the thrower. This should be pretty substantial. I think it's going to be very interesting to see this perform when we get some beam shots in a little bit. Now, even though it's not completely dark, you can definitely see the performance on the thrower. So as I long press, again, here you can see that Firefly mode, definitely getting enough light on my hands. I could probably read just fine right now, but it looks a lot brighter on camera than it is in person. So this would definitely help, especially if I needed some detail. Again, single press between the modes. So here, the low mode. Now the low mode you can see here beaming off, nice even beam, has a relative hot spot, but off to the side, some flood. A nice amount overall. But at this point, really, this is for close-up navigation, general camp tasks, and things where you don't need a whole lot of light. But here a long press, this is the medium mode. Medium for me is going to be my general navigation, really trying to make it through most areas so I get a good amount of light, but I also get reasonable run times. Again, long press, it goes back down, long press, long press. Here's the high mode. Now if I needed a little bit more light or I really wanted to see off into my distance just a bit, I would probably leverage the high mode. But the reality for me, well, what I like the best about this, 3 modes at an initial click. Very simple. So a long press, that gets me my moonlight mode or firefly mode. Single press, that's going to be memory. So for me, I'll probably put this on medium. But then double press, and that's the turbo. You can see beaming off into the distance, a real refined hotspot, but a nice amount of flood. Now I'm not going to run this a huge amount on turbo because it is heating up, and it's certainly not going to last nearly as long. So conserving my battery, I'll probably run this either on the firefly mode or that medium mode.
Now here you can see using the thrower to get into some of my gear. Now it is definitely dark enough, I can barely see. So at first, leveraging the firefly mode, not quite enough light, but here the low mode. This is perfect for those up close tasks. When you don't need a ton of light or you don't really want to kill your night vision, the low mode, absolutely perfect. So using it here, this is a 62 lumen mode, and this will run for 48 hours. So not only getting the perfect amount of light, but really conserving the battery on top of that.
Currently on the medium mode. So as I mentioned, just general navigation on medium. Just about right. Nice. So again here, it looks a lot brighter on camera than in person. But you can see here, this is the medium mode. So medium doing a nice job, and as I mentioned, you can see this is why I use it for general navigation, the ability to see enough distance in front of me. Overall, a nice hot spot and a good amount of flood. The long press all the way to the high mode. Now again, that high mode really starting to throw off into the distance, illuminate things a good distance away. If I thought there was an animal or something I really wanted to see, or I was looking for my hiking partner, this is probably what I would use. So again, this is the high mode. Double press here, you're getting the full benefit of the turbo. Turbo throwing way off into the distance, a really hot spot. You can see here, fully illuminating the corridor all the way down and everything in front of me. No problem lighting this place up. If this was a search and rescue operation, this would be a nice amount of light. Of course, run times would prevail. Triple press. And you can see the specialty modes. So here the SOS, long press, and it's off. Again, triple press. Specialty modes, long press, and then you go directly into your programming. Very nice light overall, great amount of throw, especially on that turbo. It is impressive. So all right guys, there you have it, a look at the thrower. Definitely an impressive light. I like the fact that you do have the ability to beam way off into the distance, yet still perform all of the up-close tasks with ease. That is something that sometimes flashlights definitely can struggle, finding that middle ground between something that's going to be good just to illuminate your sort of general proximity, but also the ability to beam off into the distance. And I think the thrower did it very well. There's no doubt that the construction is there. Everything very nicely done. I like the overall presentation in the package. These headbands are pretty standard these days, I would say, for the most part, fairly standard. I did struggle a little bit just to get this sort of dialed in exactly and perfectly comfortable for me. But after a little while of just sort of messing around with it, I did get it to finally fall into place. So it's just something that you're going to need to take your time, kind of play around with it a little bit. Not a big deal. It's something you can definitely work on. And the fact that now this goes to a USB Type-C connector, that's very helpful. For me, generally, I have been converting most of my cables when possible over to that USB Type-C charging, and I'm getting close. I still have some devices that are holding on to that micro USB. So either way, at this point, micro USB or USB Type-C, I am glad to see that for the most part, Thrunite does seem to be moving pretty much to that USB Type-C platform. And last but not least, it's not overly heavy, but this is going to be definitely heavier than your lightweight backpacker's headlamp. So depending on what you're trying to do, this could fall a couple of different ways. For me personally, I always take function over form a little bit. I guess it kind of depends, but I definitely need something with good ample run times. This does that. I need something with a quality beam pattern. This does that. And I need something that I can recharge. This does that. So checking a lot of the big boxes, that's very important. And similar to other lights with this exact same form factor. At this point, this form factor is known. This is something that's been around for a long time. So generally speaking, I have no concerns with this. It works for me. It functions for me. And even though it's not the lightest package, it definitely performs. And so with that, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Thrunite who did provide this for review. And for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearm side of things. At this point, that channel is growing quickly. I have a ton of videos up there. So if you like what you see here on Outer Limitless, do me a favor and check me out on Outer Limitless 2. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.